Hey guys, it's Christina. How's it going? So, I wanted to do a video all on the first day of school. I know a lot of us start school at different points in the year. I will be starting in August, but it is something we tend to think about as the summer goes on. Is school approaching? And so I wanted to talk about how I do things for the first day of school and just give a few tips on some things that I have done over the years. Even after teaching 12 years, this will be my 12th year, I still get a little nervous. So it's just that unexpected. So hopefully this will help a little bit. So first of all, yes, as I just said, it's a little nerve-wracking at first to start school. I mean, like I said, maybe it's your first year, maybe you've been teaching for a while, but it's just that unexpected. Like we're getting this whole new group of kids that have different needs, different behaviors, and it's hard to know what to expect. But just know you are a professional and you can handle whatever you come across. And it's totally natural to be nervous for your first day of school. So, all right, so one thing I like to do that helps me feel really confident and ready to go for the first day of school is I will plan out the whole day in detail and the whole week even. Just because through that first week is gonna be really busy. And I know for me, it takes a while for me to get used to like being on my feet and talking that much. And I usually have conferences I have to do. So yeah, it's a lot. So I like to have it prepared ahead of time. And this is how my week tends to look. This year will be a little different. I know we're not gonna have an open house because of COVID, but, and it'll be interesting to see how the first 2 weeks of school go. We actually plan on doing some review weeks to review, just because last year was interesting at the end and it was tougher, to make sure they had everything down. So we will see how all that looks, but I will tell you how, like some of the things I tend to do for my first day and my first week of school. Okay, one thing I like to do is I actually have temporary name tags on their desks. The reason why I do that is because a lot of times they'll come in and they'll say, well, that is my name, but I go by my middle name, or I like to be called this, or sometimes the spelling has been wrong and we need to get changed. There's different things like that. So I like to put a temporary name tag. And what I'll do is I'll have that name tag out and I'll have them look at it and I'll tell them if something needs to be changed, feel free to write on that name tag and change it. And then after like a week or two, I can go through and give them their actual name tags. So that helps a lot. Another thing I like to do is when they come in the morning, I have a getting to know you sheet on their desk. So that way, right off the bat, I can get to know more about them, their likes, their dislikes, how are they feeling about the first day of school, what subjects do they like, what things are they interested in. It's a really great way to get to know them like right off the bat. So I have that laid out on their desk and all ready to go. One thing I also like to do, since it's the first day of school and since we're nervous, obviously they're gonna be nervous as well, is I will actually have their parent or their guardian write a note to them. And usually I'll have them do it at open house, but we aren't having one. So I will probably just send an email and have them email me a little note and I put it on their desk for them to read when they come in. And if their parent or guardian didn't write them a note, I will write them a note and tell them how excited I am to have them in my class. And yeah, I think it's just a really great way for them to feel a little bit better and more ease. One thing I do is I also try to get my procedures in place right off the bat. So when they come in, I have something up on the board for them to read and follow. So, because that's what I do every day for the whole school year, which, yeah, it's a little work, but I like to have things organized when they come into the room. So right off the bat, they'll read it. And if they aren't reading it, I'll say, okay, please read the board. Please read the board, and they'll read the board and they'll go to their desk with all of their stuff and they'll fill out their getting to know you sheet, which is kind of weird at first, but they don't know where to put stuff. So they need to take it to their desk. And then after the bell rings and there's announcements, I'll say, okay, this is where we put the lunch pails. This is where you're going to put your backpacks and that sort of thing. So one thing I really love to do after we do all that morning business stuff where they put their stuff away and fill out that getting to know you sheet is I will then do a little presentation all about me. And I like to have pictures and I'll talk about things I like, where I went to college, how many years I've been teaching, and I'll just put like a little presentation together for them so they know who I am and I'm not a complete stranger to them. After that, I tend to do a little mixer activity where they get to know each other, just in case somebody's new or just so they can get to know each other a little bit more. And basically it's a little paper and they'll try to get signatures from people for different things. And I'll tell them to try to get different signatures for each thing, and maybe to try to get 5 in a row for bingo, or try to get the whole page filled in, whatever you want to do. But a mixer is a really great way for them to get to know each other more and feel more comfortable. After that, I'll then talk about some of my procedures. I'll start it right off the bat. And I'll talk about procedures they need to know that day. And then after that, for the whole week, I'll take a few procedures every morning and afternoon. And I'll go over some of the old ones and I'll give them new ones as well. So some of the big ones I like to do for the first day of school are, I will talk about like my little rewards program I do with them. And I'll also talk about how they should walk through the halls and line up. I'll also talk about how lunch should go and recesses as well. One thing that I really love to do is we will actually make a time capsule for the first day of school. It's a really great project for them, and it's a great first day activity. So in the time capsule, I'll actually get a little like manila envelope, and I'll have them write a letter to themselves in the future. And I'll say, okay, this is all stuff that you like or things that are happening for you on the first day of school. You guys will actually be opening these on the last day of school. So it's like a note to their future self. And then I'll also get a string and they will measure how tall they are. And they can have a friend help them if they want. I'll also have them trace their handprint, and I tell them they can decorate it if they want. And then they'll also trace their footprint, and I'll also take a picture of them. And it's crazy how much they change, and it's so fun for them to see these on the last day of school. So it's a great first day activity and last day activity as well. One thing I like to do before school starts is pick a read aloud that I'd like to read to them from a picture book. I know for me, I like to read A Bad Case of Stripes just because I want them to be themselves. But there's so many great books available that you could read for the first day of school. So here are a few different books you could read to them. So yeah, I would pick a book and read that to them, and I usually read it to them before lunch. And in the morning, I'll usually do a little recess for them too. Another activity I really love to do with them that first day of school, it's called Me in a Sack. And I'll tell them, okay, you guys have an assignment for your first day of school or homework. And they'll say, homework? We have homework, really? But I'll tell them, no, it's actually not that bad. They just have to pick 3 different items from home that have to do with them. And I will pick 3 items and bring them that day just to show them some examples. For example, maybe I'll bring a music book and I'll say, I really love to play the piano. I've been playing ever since I was in kindergarten. And I'll just give them some examples. And then the next few days, or that first week of school, at the end of every day before we clean up, I have them share their items with the class, and I'll just have a few go every day. So it's a really great filler activity and a great way for you to also have them explain who they are and for you to get to know them a little bit better. Also, it's really important that first day of school and the first week to leave extra time for them to clean up and really tell them what you expect with cleanup time. So that's something I'll really make time for and really set in place for the whole year. Okay, that's pretty much what I do for my first day of school. For the first week of school, I will also do some more getting to know you activities just so I can get to know them better and they can get to know each other. I'll also keep going over procedures and rules, and I will pick a read aloud that I will read to them, and I will start it the second day. So our first chapter book as a class, we will also get that going. And other than that, I will also do testing just to see where they're at in different areas, just to know like what I really need to focus on, teach to them throughout the year. So, all right guys, hope this helps you guys. I know for me, once I have everything planned out and I have it written in my planner and I have all the materials ready to go, I start to feel a lot more relaxed and ready to go. So please share if you have something that you like to do the first day or the first week. I would love to hear some new ideas as well. So, all right, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great day.